Since opening in 1987, the Alberta Special Waste Treatment Centre has become a vital part of the solution to a tough modern problem: how to safely dispose of the hazardous byproducts of our 20th century technology. Some of this special waste is produced by industry, but as consumers, each one of us also contributes to the special waste problem. Chemical leftovers, contaminated containers, they're all part of our way of life. But these and other materials are difficult to dispose of safely. Concern for our environment has produced a commitment to reducing our production of waste, recycling what we previously dismissed as garbage, reusing materials instead of throwing them away, and recovering useful products from waste. These 4 R's are an important part of the solution. But there will always be residues which we cannot and should not flush down the drain or pack into our landfills. Protecting human health and the environment from hazardous waste requires a last resort: special waste treatment. In the 1980s, the Alberta government recognized the need for a centre to dispose of special wastes produced in the province. An independent international review panel chose Chem Security, a subsidiary of Bovar Incorporated, to design, construct, and operate the treatment centre. The provincial government conducted a site selection program, and several Alberta communities volunteered for the centre. Detailed engineering and environmental studies showed that the Swan Hills area could meet the stringent criteria established for site selection. After full consultation with local residents, a site was chosen. Today, the centre is the hub of the special waste management system operated by Chem Security Alberta Limited and overseen by the Alberta Special Waste Management Corporation, a provincial crown corporation. The Alberta Special Waste Treatment Centre is the first of its kind in North America. What distinguishes the centre is that it is capable of treating all classes of waste generated in the province, with the exception of radioactive and explosive wastes. It treats both organic and inorganic waste in both solid and liquid forms. There's a prescribed treatment for each kind of waste. Much care has gone into designing this safe system for the collection, transportation, and treatment of special waste. Before a load of waste ever sets out for the centre, the generator must provide information about the waste, including its chemical composition. This often requires analysis by an independent laboratory. The contents of every load must be documented, and every load is tracked from source to destination. When a shipment arrives, the centre's laboratory conducts an analysis before accepting the load for treatment. To protect people and the environment, stringent regulations govern the transportation of special wastes to the treatment centre. Trucks have been specially designed for protection within protection. For instance, drums and other waste containers are themselves enclosed within containers. Like the container trucks, the centre is built on the idea of protection within protection. An internal drainage system allows no substance, not even rainwater, to leave the site. And the areas where the waste is stored before treatment are surrounded by berms to contain any possible spills. Drums containing liquid wastes are emptied. Their contents are piped to the specific location in the plant appropriate for their treatment. Some special waste arrives by tanker, and it is pumped immediately into storage tanks. Inorganic material, such as acids, sludges, metal-bearing liquids, and caustics, are treated by either physical or chemical processes here in the physical chemical plant. The objective of this plant is to destroy hazardous inorganic compounds or to concentrate and remove them for further treatment. One common process is neutralization. For example, inside these reactors, potentially harmful acids, such as hydrochloric acid, can be neutralized in a base reaction process. The end product is harmless: salt and water. Another process is filtration. In these pressure filter vessels, solids and liquids are separated before receiving further treatment. Even contaminated drums are treated. The shredded drums and other solids produced by the various physical-chemical processes undergo further processing in the stabilization plant. Here, These solid residues are mixed with lime and cement to form an environmentally safe material, and finally deposited in covered landfill cells. These secure landfill cells are designed to safeguard against any contamination of groundwater. The cells are set in the impermeable clay soils that characterize the area, one of the reasons this plant site was chosen. Each cell is lined with a heavy synthetic liner and covered with a rigid, weatherproof building. When a cell is filled with solids, it is capped with a high-density polyethylene liner, welded shut, covered with clay, and revegetated. Any liquids remaining from the physical chemical treatment processes are stored in these tanks. The water is tested and further treated, if necessary, before being pumped down a deep well, more than a mile below the site. The well extends far below the zone, which is the source for groundwater. The walls are doubly protected to ensure no leakage takes place, and the integrity of the well walls is constantly monitored to ensure the well is secure. That's how inorganic wastes are treated at the center. But most of the wastes produced in Alberta fall into the category of organic wastes, things such as oils, sludges, contaminated soils, and PCBs. At the treatment center, organic wastes, whether liquid or solid, are incinerated. Solid organics may be shipped in drums or in bulk. They are packaged and stored here prior to incineration. The building is heated, making the center a more efficient year-round facility. Liquid organics often arrive in drums. Their contents are first stored in these tanks, according to type of waste, and then pumped to one of the center's incinerators. This rocking kiln is one of 2 incinerators used at the center. It was designed to process liquid organic wastes in small quantities of solids. Although it can handle all forms of organic waste, this rotary kiln was installed in response to the growing demand for the disposal of solid organic waste. In both systems, drums to be destroyed with their contents are conveyed to the incinerators and lifted for insertion into the kiln. Bulk and packaged solid wastes are shredded to a uniform size before entering the kiln. Liquid organic wastes and sludges are pumped into the combustion chamber. Operating temperatures range between 800 and 1,000 degrees Celsius in the first combustion chamber. Solid waste is processed for a half hour to an hour, depending on its composition. Wastes are destroyed in the secondary combustion chamber, where temperatures in excess of 1,200 degrees Celsius are maintained. Clean slag is removed from the kiln. It's tested, stabilized if necessary, and placed in the center's landfill. Gases are cooled and cleaned in a state-of-the-art air pollution control system before being released to the atmosphere. The incinerators must meet stringent emission and air quality guidelines to comply with both the center's license to operate and provincial environmental regulations. The flow of material to the incinerators and every detail of the process is controlled here. These instruments act as the brain of the system, telling the operators what's going on in every aspect of the incineration process 24 hours a day. Another control room oversees the entire center, from the contents of the various storage vessels to the purity of the gases released by the incinerators and the quality of liquid injected in the deep well. Another key responsibility is protecting the safety of workers at the center. An important part of this task is ensuring the correct protective clothing and equipment is provided and used. An active occupational health program includes regular medical tests of workers and intensive training and education to prevent harm to workers. The center also has a vital responsibility to prevent harm to the environment. Its comprehensive long-term monitoring program includes this station, which continuously checks air quality. Scientists regularly study the environment around the treatment center to detect even the slightest deviation from the norm. Over $1 million is spent annually to ensure the protection of the air, soil, water, aquatic life, wildlife, and plant life. To ensure hazardous substances never leave the site, equipment and trucks must be washed before they're permitted to leave. Safety and environmental integrity. These are the guiding principles of Alberta's Special Waste Management System. Chem Security at the treatment center near Swan Hills has accepted responsibility for ensuring Albertans a successful response to a major concern, protecting human health and the environment from hazardous wastes.